Your Excellency, President William Samoei Ruto, the Chancellor of the University, members of the academic staff, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, hamjambo. Comrades power. Comrades power. Thank you very much. We are happy to be here this morning. I came actually at the invitation of one of the guests here, my daughter, Rosemary Odinga, who had been invited to come here. Rosemary, you want to stand up so that you can wave? The one who invited me. So like I'm a gate crusher. But this is Langata, which is home. So I'm very happy to be here. And I really want to begin first by congratulating the young man here, the new Chancellor of the Cooperative University, a very, very promising young man, Dr. Bernard William Shitunga. Hongera. I have, since I came here, seen very many interesting things and exciting. We talk all the times about development. The development will not come on its own. It has to be initiated. The cooperative movement in the world has been a very major force for transformation of societies. It is one that has been used to actually fight poverty around the world. Because cooperative actually promotes saving. And saving is very important in terms of wealth creation. When you save, you can be able to invest. I said earlier on, this is what we call the vicious cycle of poverty. That, oh, I am poor, and therefore I cannot save. I cannot save, therefore I cannot invest. I cannot invest, therefore I cannot develop. Hence I am poor. You must make a deliberate effort to break that poverty cycle. And if you break that poverty cycle, then you can be able to develop as a society. It's very important. So you need to think out of the box. And I listen very carefully to Dr. Chitunga as he was talking here. I said, this is somebody who is thinking out of the box. And this is what is going to help us, our country. Africa is the richest continent on the planet Earth. Yet the paradox is that the richest continent is also the poorest in terms of living conditions of its people. We don't have to be permanently poor. And we don't have to be going around to be begging. We can be able to do what is called value addition to what we produce in our country here. You can be able to exploit the resources that we have and transform them to create wealth for our people. This is what is most important. And this is what can only happen if you are thinking out of the box. And therefore, I've been very, very impressed by what I've seen here this morning, what I've heard here. Let us now ensure that what is being promised here will be implemented. If you do that, you will change this institution, and you will also change Kenya. And you will make Kenya move to where we want to go. That is, Kenya, we want Kenya to move away from poverty. We had talked of 2030. We are now only 5 years away from 2030. But if we are determined, it can be done. And this is actually my message to our people. I'm happy to be here. Congratulations, Cooperative University, for what you're doing here. Thank you very much. maybe, you're ready to, thank you very much.
Thank you, Your Excellency. It's now my humble duty to welcome Your Excellency to speak to us, and may we all be upstanding. Welcome, Your Excellency.
Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. You may take your seats. The Right Honorable Raila Odinga, Mr. Chancellor, William Bernard Gitunga, Ministers present, Principal Secretaries present, the University Council and Management, the student fraternity, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Hamjambo. Saa zingine kunasemekana mtu amepata kazi. Alafu saa zingine kunasemekana kazi imepata mtu. I think in this case, the latter is true. Mimi nimeona ya kwamba kazi ya Chancellor imepata mtu. And it is with great pleasure to join you on this historic occasion marking the installation of the second Chancellor of the Cooperative University of Kenya. Today's ceremony marks not only a new chapter in the leadership of this distinguished institution, but also reaffirms the university's steadfast commitment to its mission of empowering communities through cooperative education, research, innovation, and sustainable development. Allow me at the outset to congratulate Dr. Bernard William Gitunga. Congratulations. Raila Odinga called him young man. He is young enough for me also to call him young man. Your elevation, Dr. Gitunga, to this role is both historic and symbolic, reflecting our collective conviction that young people are not merely leaders of tomorrow, they can also lead today. As government, we are intentional about integrating young people into leadership to unlock their innovation, energy, and bold thinking in shaping our country's future. I think if there is boldness and courage, we have seen in the vision of Dr. Gitunga. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cooperative University of Kenya holds a unique and important place in our national development journey. For over 70 years, it has been a vital engine for molding skilled human capital and producing knowledge systems that uplift communities. Its foundation in the cooperative values of equity, democracy, solidarity, and mutual responsibility has ensured that its focus remains grounded in making a real impact on people's lives and driving grassroots transformation. The university's impact is evident in the professionalism it brings to cooperative governance, the training of strategic leaders for MSMEs, and its robust research and policy work that strengthens institutions at the foundation of our economy. This is, in my very honest opinion, true empowerment, people-centered, local, and transformational. Our agenda is to build on the productivity of every Kenyan. During nationwide consultations, Kenyans expressed a desire not just to share the national cake, but also to be empowered to bake it. This calls for accessible, practical, future-oriented education. Education that imparts skills, nurtures enterprise, and equips citizens to organize collectively. The cooperative university is uniquely placed to deliver on this. Accordingly, we are implementing a sustainable higher education funding model to ensure that every learner, regardless of their background, has a fair chance to pursue their academic ambitions. Through institutions like this cooperative university, we're empowering communities with the tools and knowledge to participate meaningfully in national development and wealth creation. I have heard very carefully what both the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor has said, and all the other leaders that have spoken before me, on matters education. It is said that education is the single most powerful enabler of societies, communities, and people. And that is the reason why my first job in office as president was to find out, to ask the reason why we have difficulties in our education system. I did put together a presidential task force that gave us a roadmap that spent almost 8 months with many stakeholders. I was briefed that they got 32,000 different presentations. And when I came into this university this morning, I asked the Vice Chancellor to give me feedback on the work that was done by the task force, and that I did decide that it was time to implement. And the Vice Chancellor told me, Mr. President, things are different. We have paid all our workers. We have paid all our taxes. We don't have debts with suppliers. The university is different. There is a small problem, however. Some of the students complain that they have been put in the wrong band. That is the feedback I got from the Vice Chancellor. And I told him, because they had a retreat, which I had instructed the ministry, because I wanted feedback from the runners, from the managers of our universities. So they had a retreat, and soon they will be giving me a feedback on the good, the difficult, what needs to be changed. Because if we get our education and training right, we are well on course to getting our prosperity and development right. And therefore, aside from implementing and organizing the CBC program, hiring more teachers, providing more resources, additional resources to our universities, implementing a student-centered funding model that has increased resources going to universities. And today, I can proudly say the universities that were struggling 2 years ago with debts, 23 of them had already been declared bankrupt. They are now on an upward mobility. And I am informed that in the next 2 to 3, maybe 4 years, all the universities will be out of the debt trap. And it is because we must work together with our university managers, our vice chancellors. And today, I am very proud that a young man of 36 becomes the youngest chancellor in the Republic of Kenya. And he stands out. You agree with me that we have the best that we could get for a chancellor for Cooperative University. A product of this university at his early age, and has gone all places, gathering experience, gathering knowledge, and making Kenya proud. I met this young man earlier in 2023 when I went to Senegal for Matters Africa Development Bank. That's where the headquarters is, because we had negotiations that would support our country. And when I met Kenyans there, they told me the difficulties they are going through because we didn't have an embassy. And I singled out Gitunga because he was precise on what needed to be done. The rest is history. We now have an embassy in Senegal. Again, I went to China a year ago. In the